Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning. Thank you for joining us today. Today we'll be talking about revamping guest experiences in hospitality with self-service chatbots. Exciting topic and session with a little bit of a demo. A few quick things on housekeeping. Today's session is a CP session. You do qualify for 1 credit of CP in computer software and applications. In order to receive those credits, please remember to participate in all 4 of our polls during the webinar. And then also, if you could fill out the post-webinar survey, we'd really appreciate it. And then for the CP certificates, you will get them via email within about 30 days from today. That being said, we are recording today's session. We will provide a link to the slide deck and the recording later this afternoon. We'll try to keep the session to about 50 minutes, and then we'll leave some time for questions at the end, but don't hold back and feel free to send in your questions throughout the session and go to webinar control panel in the little questions bar. Joining me today, I have Kalpana. She will take us through today's presentation, so I think we're ready to get started.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar. We have some exciting information to share with you to talk about the trends of 2020, live scenarios, and so on. And I also have a demo prepared. I work with Revamp for the past 11 years, customer success manager with 22 years of Microsoft technology experience. Our latest focus is on, customer success, right? Like how can we bring success to our industries, especially during the pandemic when, we are trying to have some distance between us? How can we help our customers provide quality experience and on-time responses, mainly focusing on the bot, so we could still continue to proceed with what we have done in the past. I also have huge experience in adoption and change management with new technologies. Comes adoption, which is the ultimate success we are hoping for to make sure there is a ROI for our benefits and our hard work. So today's agenda, you will be hearing from me what are chatbots and their benefits. What did we see last year? How did bots what were the trends for the bots last year? We have a real life scenario which we had implemented for one of our clients. Like I said, I promised a demo, and then some of the high level technologies that were used, and how can you do it for your company, for your organization, for your industry? How can you get this solution to help you? And then, like Sasha said, we have a few minutes for questions.
All right, let's do our first poll. Just curious to see, has your business implemented a chatbot solution already, perhaps? Give a few minutes for voting here. Looks like we're leaning on the no side. Just give it a few more seconds. All right, looks like most people have not yet.
All right, then you are in the right place. Hopefully, after you hear from me, you would realize it is simple and easy, and it quickly could be implemented for your industry, for your company. Let's get started. All of you know Satya Nadella, and what is he talking? What is the latest trend from Microsoft? Bots are the new app. People-to-people conversation, people-to-digital assistants, people to bots, and even digital assistants to bots. So that is what the world is going in the future. If you are thinking about the next 5 years, how can you grow your business in your industry? We have seen a shift of technology overload and information dispersity, hence the need for the bot. So this is going to really be the future. Why are we thinking bots? What is it that motivates people at Microsoft and other companies to think about bots? Well, here's why. People are always on the internet, on the phone, searching for information, trying to recall from their memory, from past questions asked, from past knowledge acquired, picking up a phone, calling people, asking questions. And then, sometimes you hit a roadblock. You do not find the answer by yourself. That's when you ask for help. You chat with a colleague, you call the concierge if you are in the hospitality niche like you are today. The people who are joining us, people take a phone and answer, or call and ask the questions. People send an email asking questions. This is where we are telling you we are bringing the virtual assistant for your customers to give timely responses to their questions. Nobody wants to go to a website and read a long FAQ webpage to find out what they are looking for. So here we are going to talk about how we can have the question bank, which we call the knowledge base, where it's going to have the repetitive questions that's been asked of you in the past X number of years, how they can be categorized, how they can be entered into a simple question answer format, and then be available to your customers, to your guests on their phone and answer their questions immediately. That's the future. Here's our next poll, Sasha.
All right, so let's see. What do your customers usually do when they're unable to find the information they need? You get an email, maybe you get a call, maybe they say they search the internet. Let's see. I would say it's a close split between emailing and calling. Sounds pretty normal. Sounds like that's what I would do.
Yes, yes. Awesome. Thank you for answering the poll. Moving on. So, what are chatbots? What are the different types of chatbots? What is going to be best for our industry? That is the first and foremost thought process or design process we would think about. You have seen different kinds in your day-to-day experience. It may not be in your work, but I am sure 99% of us are on Amazon. We are asking questions. There's always a live chat. 99% of the time it's a chatbot. It's going to try and answer your questions. At the point where it cannot, it's going to transfer you to a virtual agent or a live person, a human, to help you with your answers. So that is what we want to introduce you to, the concepts. When you chat with a bot, how is it? Is it menu driven? What does that mean? Do you want to give them options as soon as you start? So giving your users some broad category to help them decide what kind of questions they want to ask. Is it going to be a conversational agent, meaning I just ask in plain English what question I want? The bot should be able to pick keywords or key phrases from the user's questions and be able to answer me. Give me a response back. For example, a customer may ask, I am having problem with my car GPS, right? That particular question can be asked in various ways. So how does this happen behind the scenes with artificial intelligence? Is we are looking for key phrases, car, GPS, or some of the unique identifiers or keywords that we train our knowledge bank to kind of capture and provide the appropriate response. Personal or virtual assistant, I mean, that's another form. It's basically, when I say virtual assistant, it's basically going to be your reminders. It's going to be able to help you with your tasks and lists. So these are some of the different types of chatbots that are available. The next thing we want to see is the 2020 trends. With COVID hitting us big all over the world, how did chatbots play an important role? Information was very much relevant, important, and timely for most of us. We needed to know about reservations, cancellations, postponement, and so on and so forth, because everything was just brought to a sudden halt. So we were able to help our clients quickly put together this solution with the knowledge base that I am mentioning, and I will show you in my demo, providing them with information about COVID, providing our clients, our customers, our guests information about how our company is taking precautions, what are the necessary things that we are doing following the CDC guidelines, where can you go get information? We have been able to help them. The next thing is internal support. Our staff or people internally in our industry have a lot of questions themselves. So we have categorized internal support that way as well, where we can help our employees get their answers, because I am sure most of you experienced, if you are in a concierge working, if you are, in the human resource working in your department, your phones were ringing off the hook, you were seeing emails pile in. So that's where bots came into a huge play, where they were able to kind of answer your questions quickly and efficiently, able to provide, because if you think about it, most of us initially had the same question. 10,000 people would be sending the same amount of emails or same format, same questions, asking about how can I cancel my reservation? Would you provide, me postponing? How much money do I lose? I have booked tickets for whatever shows, entertainment. What is your policy? So this was kind of a repetitive question that people were asking, and if you think about the load on people to answer them, it was humongous. So that's why we want to kind of help our clients be able to have this knowledge bank, give out the answers as quickly and as efficiently as possible, so that our clients are not frustrated. Our clients are confident and comfortable because we have the latest information available to them. How specifically we helped in your particular niche or industry, you can see as far as hospitality goes, special recommendations. When I am booking reservations, I have a huge set of asks. I have a huge set of requirements. What do? We typically take a phone and we just call the concierge, we call the hotel, we call the front desk. If it's a restaurant, we call the front desk, we make reservations. Instead of doing that, everything is available quickly. You don't have to be on hold. You don't have to be on the line waiting for a live agent to come and help you, right? So we have been able to help clients get their answers on their phone. Just type in the question like you would say something like, I want to cancel my reservation, or is it possible, if it is something a restaurant and you had made reservations, you can say, is this something that can be delivered to my house, for example. If it is something that you want to cancel, you don't have to be on hold, you just hit cancel and then your reservation is canceled. What is the most important thing? What is the most important outcome when you think about your clients versus your internal staff? You want to give both of them good experience. You want to relieve your internal staff from repetitive questions so that they can focus on more important tasks in your company, in your industry. At the same time, you are providing great value. You're saving time and relieving frustration for your customers by not making them be on hold on the phone. How many of us have done that? We want to cancel our airline ticket. You make a call, you either get redirected, you first have a nice welcome message, then you have to listen through the 10 options, then you have to hit the right button, right? And then you are then on either on hold, or somebody answers and then transfers you to some other line. And then again, you're there on hold. By the time you cancel and your reservation and you look at your watch, you've spent 45 minutes. We don't have that much time, right? During crisis, during pandemic, when so much money is at stake, you want everything done easily. So from your guest angle, that is what you're looking to. But they should have the confidence, I can easily book and I can easily cancel as and when I want. And this is very, very important in the tourism industry, especially because if you lose that confidence in your customers, you lose your customer, and you cannot afford to in your industry. The same goes with your staff. You want them to be useful. You want them to feel a sense of work accomplished, rather than sitting and responding to the thousands of similar repetitive emails that come to them. Less email clutter is what everybody wants. Provide easy access to frequently asked questions. How did this happen? So this is something we worked with one of our clients in the past years. There is this hotel that had several branches all across the US, serving millions of people, during vacation. I mean, off vacation, during, vacation, whatever it is. Every guest is important and need to be treated unique. However, like I had mentioned, the questions and requests are repetitive. They are not unique 90% of the time. The concierge team receives hundreds of phone calls and emails every month. So you are always having staff on call trying to answer these repetitive questions. The wait time causes frustration. So what did we do? We proposed and implemented a bot, a virtual agent, to be of assistance 24/7 to answer your customers' questions. Repetitive tasks and was added to the knowledge bank so that they could be served. The knowledge bank was kept up to date very easily. You could integrate that, and I will show you shortly about how you can integrate that to different systems. The best part is you could also push out feedback forms to your guests and ask them to fill it out for you, giving them some incentives on the way. Okay, now we go to the demonstration. 99% of the hospitality industry definitely have a website. It is very quick and easy to implement a chatbot solution for the industry. As you can see, this is my demo environment. You see that you can have the chatbot either sitting at the right bottom, which is usually where live agents sit, but does not necessarily have to be there. It could be anywhere floating on the page, whatever you decide is best. As soon as a user clicks on that, this is what I was talking to you about. You could have a small introductory message, and you can guide your customer to the options that are available to them. I want to make reservations. I have an account with this hotel. I want to go in and make changes to my account. Because COVID is very prominent, most of them have that as a big category as well. So you have that option to say you want to know any COVID information. We can provide that to you. Now, I talked to you initially about chatbots, the different kinds, meaning you could be menu driven, which is what you're seeing, those buttons. It could be conversational. People could just start, typing their questions, right? Or you could have a combination of both, and it's easy, very easy and quick to set them up. So if I just click on it, it's going to give me some information. It can point you to a website. It can open up an email with the email address, and then all you have to do is, it could even have a template where you can just put in your information, and it can just send that email to the necessary people. Now, I talked about I can even type in room reservations. So then it's going to tell me, this is the website you can go and get room information available for you. What is the parking availability in your hotel? Then it's going to tell you how you can get parking reservations as well. So that is how easy and intuitive it is. Now, we have seen this before, right? We have seen in different websites that we go to, and we always think, well, it's going to take a lot of money and it's going to take a lot of effort to set this up. And that's where I want to kind of focus the next 10 minutes to tell you how quick and easy it is to do something like this. The initial setup, we have some technology, Microsoft technology tools that's easy, intuitive, that we set up for you. And then once that's done, the knowledge bank that I was talking about is very simple and straightforward. You have your questions and you have your answers. All you need to do once everything is set up is just work on this particular page. It's cloud-based, it's a website. You can go on your phone, the staff who are maintaining this, and it's pretty straightforward, intuitive, as you can see on the screen. You should be able to just go ahead, add a question answer, hotels near your or restaurants near the hotel. And then you just start typing in the answer. Oops. I don't know, whatever you want to put in. And then you just save and train the bot. This is the knowledge bank, and this is what the bot is looking at. And you just have to publish. Let's get back here. Oops, maybe it just didn't publish, but that's the idea. Restaurants. There we go. So it just brings in quickly. So this is how simple and easy it is for you to add your question and answers to the knowledge base. Now, I talked about COVID a lot, and I said, if you have a lot of people asking you questions, CDC has the latest update. So you want to be able to bring that information to your chatbot, let's say. That again is so simple and easy. All you have to do is right here, you would be able to add a URL from CDC where they have their FAQs. about vaccine, whatever it is. It is so simple. Once that is done, you hit refresh every time CDC updates their a website with FAQs, your website is going to get that information. You do the publish, save and train, and publish again. Now, all the COVID-19 information about the vaccine, if your guests have any questions, is going to be available right here for them. Behind the scene, apart from the Microsoft technology that I was talking to you about, we have a third-party tool called Chatbot, which is very simple. As you can see, it is very simple and easy. It is all information that you can put in. This is all you need to do. Enter some information, and you don't even have to come and maintain this in the future once everything is set up. You could throw in a beautiful icon for your hotel, whatever that icon is, give it a name, give it a welcome message, and add the categories in, you are done. This is as simple. Now, this third-party ad bot is also moving to the next step, just like how Alexa is working. You can hook up this chatbot. Let's say you have guests in your hotel. They can even call this chatbot and then get answers like you would with Alexa and any other things available there. So having gone through that, what are some of the components, Microsoft components that are used? At a high level, we are touching a few of these components, and I talked to you about the ad bot. That's the only thing that's out of the Microsoft realm, but it's closely sitting with Microsoft that we are engaging here, just because it is easy to use and it's pretty darn cheap. The number of responses the bot gives is what it's being charged, and it's like in pennies, literally. So that's why we paired up with a third-party company to help us set this solution quickly and easily. Sasha.
All right, our third poll. Do you have any frequently asked questions documented in your website? Let's see. Okay. I know we had an issue with a couple of polls not being able to be answered, but hopefully this is working. Yes or not sure. So in the middle there.
Okay.
It's actually yes, no, 50-50, yes, no.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. I mean, if you have something already, I showed you how easy and simple it is to ingest into the knowledge bank. If you don't, I mean, a clean slate, it's okay too, to go ahead and create that for us. So now the next thing I want to talk about is, okay, I showed you everything. I showed you how, we have set it up. What is my next step? So I have about 10 steps that we need to take to get a chatbot up and running. But like I said, it can be done easily and quickly. I would like to go one by one to talk about what do you need to do. The first thing we advise our clients is to gather the requirements, meaning go ahead, look at your emails. If you have, a particular email address that all questions pour into, take a look at the email. Try to categorize, try to identify the repetitive questions that are coming through so that you can start taking note of them. look at your phone logs. How many phone calls do you receive? What categories people are focusing on, or what type of questions people are asking on the phone? What are some of the pain points and challenges you're hearing from your customers through those phone calls? So making note of those pain points and challenges, making note of those questions that are repetitive is your first step to identify your categories and then moving into the knowledge bank, correct? So that's how we proceed. Then you're looking at your guest and your customer force, looking at their pain points, challenges, questions. You do need to focus on your staff as well. You know, people ask questions on various things, right? Like how often is my towels changed? How often do I, you know, if I lose my key, what is the process? People don't want to go into a website and read. So people are, it's easy to stop and ask somebody than to go and search yourself. So what are some of your staff talking about? You know, what are some of the questions people ask them? What are some of the pain points, challenges they have? So the first step is to document this. This document will be the foundation, fundamental requirements document to build an effective, robust, useful bot in the future. The next step you do is you consult with an expert, and that's where Rhythm, my company, comes into play. We look at your statistics, we look at your requirements, we look at the pain points, we look at the raw data that you provide us, you know, whether it's your email log, whether it's your phone log, we take a look at that. And then that's when we start branching them out. We look at the major, you saw that I had showed 3 categories, right? Accounts, reservations, COVID-19. You can obviously see that COVID-19 was something that was added just last year. Before that, for your industry, that may not even have been a category, or that may not have been on the limelight. So it's so simple and easy to add something like that quickly. Also, but at the same time, we are focusing on the primary categories of questions and pain points that your customer have. The next thing, what does an expert do? The expert talks to you and gives you the options. Here is an example of how a menu-driven bot will look like. Do you think your customers will appreciate this? You know, you could very well say, no, I don't want to be clicking buttons. I just want to type my question. Or you could say, well, I need a combination of both. I want, if a question is very generic, then I would be willing to provide them with menus to say, you know, reservations. When you say reservation, do you mean parking reservation, restaurant reservation, hotel reservation, right? I mean, there could be different categories that you can provide them with. So it could be a combination of menu driven as well as conversational. So that's where the consultant will come and help you to branch that out further. The next thing we do is the platform selection. Depending upon your request, you know, let's say, you know, some hotels receive thousands of emails and phone calls, whereas some restaurants may receive hundreds. Depending on your clientele, we can scale our platforms, right? Like we could have something, starting something small, and we always provide a scalable solution. So we talk to you about, you know, what is the best choice here. Some people have budget restrictions, so you may want to go this with a phased approach. You know, this is what I want to start with. I want to just start with just these 3 categories and be able to answer these questions, and then I want to slowly grow. You can even get nitty gritty with this, you could say, I want reports. I want a monthly report of all the questions that were answered by the bot. I want a report of all the questions that were not answered by the bot, because that's equally important. With that, you would have to train the bot. You would have to enter those questions if you think they are relevant for your industry. You have to enter them into your knowledge bank, and you have to train the bot to answer. And I showed you how quick and easy it was to add your question answer category, save and train, and publish. So that's how we scale, right? And then you could say something like, oh, I want, I have a form that's already available from a restaurant. I want to integrate my bot or my hotel with that restaurant for reservations rather than just sending them to a different website. You can bring in that form into your hotel, your website within the chatbot, where I can then select, I need reservation for 5 people at 7 o'clock for dinner, whatever that is, right? So we could integrate with other systems. That's where the experts come in, and we have consultation with you, and we provide options, and we provide the cost that goes with the options. The next thing, which is very important, is the information and language. We do read your email logs. We can kind of understand, but also this is where you play a role, and you say this is how the language should be, because we may not be using the same terminology. Hotel Radisson may not use the same as Marriott, and so on and so forth, right? So that's where we work with you to work on the language. What kind of response, how precise should the response be? At the same time, we think about, if your question is not answered, here is a phone call you can make to get, or here we can easily transfer you to a live agent that I was mentioning before. So those are the kind of information language design architecture that we will come and work with you. Identifying the type of chatbot. There are various chatbots out there. The knowledge bank has its own chatbot. Then we have the ad bot, which is a little bit more extensive, scalable product that can help you achieve what you want. There's Microsoft virtual bots, virtual agents that are out there as well that can help you with your requirements. So listening to you, gathering the requirements, going through the platform selection, we identify the chatbot that's needed. We then identify the language flow. It has to be visual. We will show you, user comes in, they click COVID-19. Then what do? We send them a next set of menus: vaccination, information, state statistics. There's so many things, right? So we identify that flow, the path that it needs to go. And then based on that, we finally end up with the response to the customer. We implement that solution for you. The back end, whatever needs to happen, we do the architecture, and we do the implementation ourselves. We are able to also provide service in the long term for you, provide organizational support. Let's say whoever is maintaining the knowledge base, needs a reach back. We are there to help as you grow. We could have monthly touch points with you. We can, as new things get released, we can help your bot get smarter and more efficient. We stay up on top of the Microsoft release on AdBot, any of the technology platform that we have proposed for you. We are staying on top of that, so we can bring that information to you and help you grow your bot, answer more and more questions. We provide training for your folks, whoever is going to maintain that with the knowledge bank. We provide that training and support. We will launch the bot for you. And then the feedback. I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about that. There's two types of feedback here. One, your feedback to us. How can we help the bot get more and more efficient and smarter? That's one feedback. That the second feedback is we can always help you with a quick survey form. We can launch the survey through the bot. And it's a quick one. Like I said, we did implement it for one of our customers. We do provide, with your help, and that if that's what you want, we can provide incentives. So we have people responding to the survey, because survey feedback is important for us to be efficient, to make our bot smarter and intelligent. And then we iterate. So I talked about scalable solution. We always provide solutions to our clients that could be scalable, because we are growing, right? Like I talked about, we can do a phased approach. So we iterate, we receive feedback from the customer, we receive feedback from your staff. Then we go back and we either enhance the knowledge bank, add more questions, but not just stop there. We can go add more tools and technology to the platform that is already being implemented. Reporting, dashboards, enhancing your website, making the chatbot being able to converse rather than typing. There's so many options and so many features and functionalities that are coming out that can be easily worked with. So this is what we can do for you. We will be right there with you from the start, and it is an ongoing partnership we help you with. Having said all that, you may ask, should I start from scratch? How does this work? What's out there? Is there something I can try on? And yes, Microsoft has a bot, a FAQ bot out there. It brings a human in the loop when it is unable to help, which I was mentioning before. However, it's through the Microsoft Teams application. If that's not something your industry has right now, that's fine, but that's something that's out there. Then there's the hospitality assistant that's out there as well. And, we can just get started from that framework. As you can see, there's chit chats, FAQs. What is a chit chat? Chit chat is more a user-friendly response from the bot. It doesn't have to be a formal one. And also chit chat, it also has some basic questions like what's the weather. If you have Alexa or Google at home, you might have asked simple questions like, what is your name? How is your mood? If you want to make it a little bit fun and engaging to your customers, that's where chit chat comes in. But then again, your virtual assistant can, depending on the question asked, it can dispatch the different skills or features or functionalities that I was talking about. It could be events in your area. It could be point of interest. If they are vacationing in a tourist spot, there's so many questions people go to the concierge desk to ask. Like I showed you before, you could even bring the different website FAQs into your chatbot seamlessly by just copy pasting their link, and you can serve your clients. They don't have to hop off to a different link, right? So they ask the question, and then I want to know the Capital Grill reservation times available today, for example. Then it just brings that in for you through your bot. So So that's something that's out there. However, we can still work with you and just implement this solution and add more features and functionalities for this. That brings us to the last poll, Sasha.
All right, let's see. Are you planning to implement a bot soon? A few more minutes or seconds, sorry. All right, this is our last poll, so just a reminder to please vote if you're in it for the CPE credits. Hopefully everything is working properly. It looks like the majority here is thinking about it, so not quite a definitive answer, but hopefully everything that you presented here gives them some more to think about. Okay. All right, we can close that one out. All right, looks like we're all good.
Okay. So that brings us to the last piece. I did talk about understanding bot design language and processes. Me and my colleague Lamia, we have published a blog that kind of can get you started. What is a bot? Simple questions, right? What is a bot design? What is natural language versus menu-driven design? Using bots for business, how can it play an important role? How can language play an important role in answering the questions your customers have? How can we design the bot to be efficiently able to identify the keywords, phrases, categories of questions? How can the bot branch out from one question or one a generic phrase to the different options that generic phrase can carry on, and so on and so forth. The branching and everything, understanding the design is key to a successful knowledge base. Knowledge base is the key. Knowledge base is the ever-growing document that helps the bot be smart, efficient, and intelligent. So we will be sharing this with you as we conclude, but this is a good starting point to take a look at, to review, to start thinking about your next steps, your next immediate steps. And that brings us to the end. If there are any questions.
Let's see. Questions go, Payne. Okay. Let me just open this up. A question on the concierge part. So if somebody's considering the bot to be rolled out, can it be rolled out for just certain features of the concierge or certain tasks?
Yes, so that's where the phased approach will come in. So if you want to test the waters, that's what you do. You can have just few categories that you want to start off with. You can have the knowledge bank just to answer few of those categories, and then as you grow, as you find that your customers are engaging with the bot more and more, we can definitely add more features to it.
Awesome. And then a common question, you've seen this before too. How long, and I don't know if you'll be able to answer, it depends, I guess, on the task, right? How long would you say an average, like for example, for the hotel example that you gave, how long does something like this take? Or how long would it take to implement?
Implement from start to finish. It could be anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks, because if we are starting with the requirements, some of our clients come with the first envisioning discovery phase completed, where they already know what exactly the categories are, what type of questions people ask, what is it exactly they need. That saves us some time. If we are starting from scratch, like the what can we do for you slide had all the 10, 12 points. It's typically 6 to 8 weeks. We can roll out a chatbot, a
Nice.
pretty smart chatbot.
Got it. Okay. Let me just check for anything else. I think that's all that we have for questions.
Awesome. Okay.
Great.
The next step is you can obviously book a meeting with me at 30 minutes, just to talk about what is it you're looking for, how can we help. And I believe, Sasha, this is like a free 30-minute consultation that you
Yep.
can have, and then we can take it from there. Thank you
Yep.
so much for your time.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Thanks.